Ah. Can we get it back up? Let's try. Oh, we got nothing left there. Wow. Good morning. Welcome back. Good to see you again. My goodness, is it good to be here 2 days in a row. Yesterday, I was literally thinking to myself, and I even spoke with a couple of my colleagues just about how nice it was to actually be able to start the day with a good workout. We've talked about this before, where when we don't get into the gym for any period of time, it really does just affect our overall mental health, mental stability, happiness, all of those things. It's just this big package of good for our bodies physically and mentally. It can't be overstated just how important it is for us to get that piece of our daily routine in every single day. And today ahead of us, we've got a push day. We've got a pretty darn good push day ahead. I think, as you can see from today's workout, you're going to notice that it's not really much different than what we did last week. That format of that video was a little bit different than we normally do, a little bit shorter. It was also a bit of a deload week as well. We were kind of deloading, but also ramping back up into this new training split. So this week we're going to be doing the full version of that push workout. That's of course going to be starting with our Meadows Incline dumbbell lateral raises. Very unique exercise where we're bringing that dumbbell all the way around our body basically on this incline bench and working that delt in a complete full range of motion. And they've been a pretty good warm-up so far. Just like we like to start our leg days with those hamstring curls, it's actually nice to have an exercise like that to start warming up that joint, that shoulder joint. We're going to do that. We're going to do some incline benching. We've got some overhead cable pressing to do. Got a bunch of stuff lined up. So let's get set up over there. Let's get warmed up and let's get this workout started. I'll see you there. Totally lost count there. Totally lost count there. I think we did enough though. These standard dumbbells are one of the first things I bought for the home gym. There was a guy having a sale here in 2020 who was selling these standard inch plates for like crazy cheap, and he had a ton of them. So bought these handles. I don't think I bought these from him, but I bought a bunch of these standard plates. I think it was honestly like 15 cents a pound. It was crazy cheap. It was really cheap. We're starting out with 15 pounds here. That's all we're doing. And instead of using the dumbbells from Bowflex, which are a lot longer than these are, when they're even when they're not loaded up, we're going to use these guys, which end up being a little bit shorter and a little bit easier to maneuver, especially when we're doing movements like this where we're moving that dumbbell all over the place. Let's do it. Set number 2. We're all geared up here, got our rest dialed in, got our timer here. Let's crank out 8 to 10 reps. 205 in the incline here. Let's push it. Come on. Yes. Set number 2, man. Number 1 one felt really good. Let's repeat that here. Good pause on the bottom. Let's do it. Yes. Come on. Oh, I don't know that it can be overstated just how powerful that little pause at the bottom can be. When you're trying to get into hypertrophy work, that pause at the bottom can add so much time under tension and therefore so much overall volume and work potential to each and every rep you're doing. I mean, you could literally take, this is a totally made up number, but I would wager that adding that pause could easily reduce the weight you need on this bar by at least 20 pounds, at least. So throw it in there. If you're doing a PPL routine, if you're doing hypertrophy work, bodybuilding based work, and even if you're just doing strength training, every once in a while, pepper it in there. Try throwing in your reps with some pauses at the bottom. I'm telling you, man, you're gonna get so much more out of those reps, so much more out of your time and your commitment. It is absolutely worth your time to set the ego aside, reduce that weight slightly, and get that good, slight pause at the bottom. And mine weren't even perfect on this last one. They were all far from perfect. I had a few of those that were definitely a little sloppy and less than ideal as far as the pause goes. But aiming and shooting and executing a 1 second pause there, man, it's awesome. It's fantastic. Give it a go. Let me know what you think. Some good music today. We're gonna add this song to my workout playlist. If you wanna get access to this playlist, just scan that code right there. I just put it right somewhere, right around my head somewhere. That is my EDM workout playlist. It has 1,150 songs now, well over 40 hours of music. So if you like EDM, this will keep you moving and grooving, I promise you that. And if there's enough interest, I've got an even harder hitting EDM playlist that'll really knock your socks off. Much, much lower amount of songs than that. The hardest of hitting, the hardest of drops. It's awesome. Last set here, same exact thing, except this time we're extending how many reps we're doing. Once we get to our total RPE, once we get to that 10 range, RPE 10 range, right around our 8 to 10 reps-ish, we're gonna end up incorporating some partials here. So we're just gonna work out the bottom, partials, until we just really can't do any anymore. Let's do it. That was it. Oh, that was it. Can we get it back up? Let's try. Oh, we got nothing left there. Wow. Okay. Oh, we're pleased with that one. That was a good set there, all the way to failure. All right, those are pretty darn good to us. And now we're moving over to these bottom half dumbbell flies. If you remember from last week, we're just really focused on getting as deep of a stretch and contraction as we possibly can while not letting that tension come off the pec at the top of the rep. So we're gonna take these until our arms, it'd be easier if I'm not holding the dumbbells. We're gonna take these until our arms are about 45 degrees all the way up, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but we're not gonna bring them all the way up so they're stacked on top of our shoulders. So we do that, we're gonna take that tension off the pec. We wanna keep that in a flexed state, bringing that arm as far down as we possibly can and only allowing it to come up until it's about right here. As you move your arm, you can feel your pec engaging. Do that right now. Place your hand on your pec and take that arm and bring it up through that range of motion. You'll feel how it gets tighter. And in fact, what you can also feel is one of the things I love about cable flies, if you're doing this as a cable fly variation. With cable flies, I find that I get an even deeper pec contraction as I cross my hands when I'm at the bottom or the top, however you want to call it, of that cable fly movement. The dumbbell though, that's not gonna work. We're laying down, it's not the exact same movement. But as we're laying down, you're gonna be able to feel that pec engaging as we bring it up into that plane of movement. So we're gonna stop it here. We're gonna stop it right about that 45-degree mark-ish, not let it come up any higher so we keep the tension there and focus on really letting it sit in that hole there. Let's do this. 8 to 10 reps, nice and deep, come on. Lock those shoulders back. And go. Let's go. Yeah. All right, keyed back up, set back up here. Our arms are floating again. We're gonna be able to move these in and out. Again, like we discussed last week, this is gonna allow us to simulate a dumbbell movement. It's not gonna be a direct replacement for or a one-to-one representation of a dumbbell-based shoulder press where we've got all that stabilizing that we have to do as we're lifting that dumbbell up. Obviously, side-to-side motion was exaggerated there. I hope your dumbbell shoulder press doesn't look that unstable if it does reduce the weight. But by having these lever arms move, we're going to have to engage more of the muscles in our shoulders to stabilize that from side to side as we're lifting it up. And it's going to be as close as a representation as we can get to a dumbbell-based shoulder press without actually doing the dumbbells. And if you remember, I love my dumbbells. Those damn things can go up to 170 pounds, which is way more weight than we need most days of the week. They're not great though for stripping weight off quickly or adding weight to them quickly at all. They take 1 to 2 minutes of dumbbell to kind of adjust that weight. And that can end up being a lot of time when you're doing 3 or 4 sets of something. It adds up very quickly. You know, right there, you're talking 12 to 15 minutes of rest just for swapping weight between dumbbells. That's not a ton of time. You know, 2 to 3 minutes of rest between each set isn't the end of the world. But when you get to that, like 3 or 4 minutes, it adds up. It adds up pretty quickly. And you're also not really truly resting between those sets. You're, moving around, trying to grab weight, pull weight, lift weight. It ends up being the not optimal rest period overall. Let's do these bad boys. 8 to 10 reps on these. We got 110 keyed up between the 2 arms, 55 each. Let's press some weight. Good. Okay, set number 2 here. That's the thing about these lever arms, that plane of motion is not, straight up and down. It's at some kind of angle, and it moves toward you guys in the camera as it comes up further past parallel here. So a little awkward sometimes, but it's not the end of the world. You adjust pretty quickly. Let's do it. I misspoke as well. We're not doing 8 to 10. We're doing 10 to 12. But I got 10 last time, so let's try to at least get 10 because that was a tough set, and 10 was not the easiest thing in the world. But let's see if we can get 12 this time. Come on. No. We're gonna bump it up to 230, and we're gonna take off these 10 to bring us down to 90 for this last set. All right, last set here. 90 pounds keyed up, we're gonna hit 12. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do whatever it takes to get 12 freaking reps in here. Come on. Come on. Yes. Let's go. Wow. All right, y'all. Got one more exercise to do still. That's our decline subs here on the GHD. It's been a good workout. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here.
Appreciate you. I hope your workout today is just as phenomenal as today's workout was. From start to finish, this was an amazing workout. My triceps are fried. I opted not to do the third set of those kickbacks. I should have if I didn't, because I didn't mark it that way in my notebook, but that is supposed to be an optional set. Those single arm movements are just great burnouts to take them all the way home, and I could barely get my 15 reps in there on that second set, and I had reduced the weight down from 20 to 15. Quite the finisher. Very pleased with that. And now we're going to wrap up here with some decline sit-ups. Get out there, do something great today. Do something great for somebody else, for yourself, for your neighbor, your family, your friends. Do something that you're proud of, that younger you would have been proud of, that future you will be proud of. Get out there, make a positive impact. I hope you find that opportunity today, and I hope that you can pass that along to somebody who needs it. It takes community to help one another out. It really does. And we're all going to make it, because we're all going to the same place at the end of the day. All right, y'all. Thanks again for being here. We'll see you next time. Be well.